interested to know about the legal ramifications of this, and not just the site itself, more broadly. If footage is put up of an alleged crime and a person is named in connection to that crime, this site has things up that are international. What's the ramifications if you called and identified someone and identified them incorrectly? There's a lot of questions that are raised by this, and I have Guy Gibbons from Bennett Carroll Solicitors who's going to help me unravel that in just a moment. And I'd be keen to hear your thoughts on this. Now, again, I know you haven't seen the website that we're speaking about, where the security footage is placed online in the hope that someone might recognise someone in an alleged crime. I'm keen to know your thoughts on whether you feel this sounds like a vigilante kind of thing, or whether you think that it's just the community helping each other. The number here, of course, is 1300 222 612. You can also always SMS on 0467 922 612 or tweet us at 612 Brisbane. When I'm confused about legal matters, I usually call Guy Gibbons. Hello, Guy.
Hi, Kat. How are things?
And this one's a bit of a curly one because it does cross a couple of different areas of law.
Well, it's interesting. It raises half a dozen different issues. The first is probably what people can do about the image that's on the site if indeed it is them. And the answer is, well, really nothing. You don't own your image. If somebody captures your image and they want to post that publicly, they can do so. They may not be able to commercially use it and name you. So if for example, you managed to capture David Beckham walking past your shop, you couldn't put him up on a billboard and say, Bill Bloggs' shoes as worn by David Beckham. But if you happen to be walking past something that was photographed and that was a commercial image, there's nothing you can do about that.
So this footage is in the public domain then? Once you have no control, if you say I don't want anyone to know that I was in this particular store, there's nothing you can do.
Shoplifting.
Well, doing whatever.
No, whether you are or you aren't. No, that the image, it's probably not strictly accurate to say it's in the public domain, but it's owned by the person that captured the image. It's owned by the person that held the camera or owned the camera, and they can do with it as they wish. The only rights that you may have are really if that were misused or if allegations were made which later turned out to be untrue. But the website owners are not publishing your name, they're not identifying you. All they're saying is, here is some footage, and asking members of the public, do you know the person in this image? So as far as the site goes, as far as posting the image is concerned, there's no issue there.
What would happen if someone who had the image posted on the site with the inference they were doing something without using their name, they're doing something illegal, was proven innocent? Is there anyone in that chain, from the website to the retailer to the person that dobbed them in, that they could potentially sue?
Well, probably not. The site itself has a disclaimer on it. I mean, immediately under the disclaimer is a description, and some of those descriptions are pretty direct, containing allegations about what the person in the footage is doing. But the site itself doesn't identify them. If a member of the public then rang or contacted police and said, I've seen that footage, I know that person, it's Billy Smith, then there's really nothing that the website content or the owner of the website has done to name that person. And it would then be up to that person, if they were acquitted, to say, well, here are all the people that owe me some kind of duty. And the site really just puts up a description, which I presume comes from the retailer, and the film, and says, do you know this person? So they're really not linking a named individual with a particular crime. And from the footage that I've seen on the site, I certainly haven't seen them all, but the footage fairly clearly displays somebody committing an offence in those cases. So it may be there is a difference, I suppose, between not guilty and innocent. And that would be rather hard to push uphill, I think, from the point of view of somebody who had been found not guilty and somebody for their outcome.
Is it possible, historically in Australia, has it happened, where someone is convicted of a crime just from that footage? There's been no eyewitness, they've never said that they did it, it's just simply security camera footage. Have they been convicted on that?
I'm sure that there are, and certainly as a matter of law, it's open to a jury to find, as a matter of fact, that person in footage is the person in the dock and that an offence has been committed from that footage. You mentioned that the CCTV in Australia is not as common as it is in the UK. I'm not sure if the stat's accurate, but statistically I've heard that every person in the UK every day is captured 6 times. Now, that is absolutely extraordinary. Obviously, not every person is captured 6 times, but that number of captures occurs every day. So the use of CCTV footage is going to get more and more common, and as a matter of law, there's nothing to stop a judge or a jury from making those findings of fact from vision in front of them.
Do you think that will change? Do you think this is one of those areas where, because the technology and the internet has evolved so quickly that we've gone from being able to capture the image to now being able to put it up online and now being able to comment on it or do something with it. Has the law caught up to that level of public scrutiny?
I think that the tools and the basic rules are there. I mean, everybody pretty much, if you've got a phone, you've got a camera and you can capture images, and those images are far better than the pictures in your head and your hazy recollection in the witness box a year later. So I think we're going to see more and more of this kind of evidence being put before juries.